Hello, my zebras and spoonies. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I am glad that you are here. I'm going to talk about food and eating because, like many of us with chronic illness, I have challenges when trying to eat. I have to eat a special diet in order to keep my stomach happy and to avoid having flares. I eat a low glycemic index, high sodium, high fluid, pescatarian, and low histamine diet, which is to say, I eat within a really narrow range of safe foods. Does this sound familiar? Maybe not the same diet, but the struggle. Eating this restricted kind of diet can make others think that there's no joy in your food. Well, if that's the case, I'd argue that you're doing it wrong. I love food. I love the experience of having a good meal with great company. The truth is that I'm just not going to eat something if it tastes gross or feels awful in my mouth. A diet being an awful experience is the biggest reason that people don't stay compliant with their diets. It doesn't matter why someone is on that diet. It could be to lose weight or gain weight, for sugar control, to reduce inflammation in their bodies, or to avoid sugar foods, or to try to nutritionally support their bodies. If a diet sucks, you aren't going to stick with it. Science has demonstrated that what we eat matters. Our foods have a major impact on our health. That being said, it isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of solution. There isn't one diet that's going to meet everyone's needs, and there isn't some magic equation that will lead you to the diet that is the best fit for your body. Each person's genetic makeup will affect how their bodies use various nutrients. Some people have a baseline fast metabolism, while others metabolize more slowly. This will affect the baseline number of calories that you need each day. Having chronic illnesses will also impact what diet will best support your health. Avoiding trigger foods and allergens will also be a factor in your diet. Your life goals and lifestyles will also have effect on your diet. Your dietary needs will look different if you're a competitive bodybuilder versus if you're someone who struggles with their mobility. However, there are some important principles that do apply to everyone, and those are the things that I want to talk about. So the first principle is eat as much variety as possible. The more variety in your diet, the more nutrients you'll be getting. You can go about getting variety in different ways. You can think about your foods as groups like dairy, fruit, protein, grain, and fat. Or you can think about making sure that there's a lot of different colors of food on your plate. Either way, the key here is to try to not eat the same thing every day. Number 2, you don't have to be perfect, and neither does your diet. You can have cheat days or days that you don't do as well as you'd like, and you can still be a healthy person. Our bodies don't require perfect nutrition every day in order for them to function well. This means that having a flare day and not being able to eat anything for one day won't equate to having crappy health. Look at your overall trends. How do you do when you look at your intake over a week or even a month? Do you eat well on most days? Then you're probably doing all right. If you're not eating in an ideal way on most days, then it's time to reevaluate. Maybe this isn't the best diet for you. Maybe there are other things that can be put into place into your treatment plan to help you meet your nutritional goals. Principle 3. You need to enjoy the foods you're eating in order for it to be a lasting change in your life. The more you enjoy what you eat, the more likely you will stay on the diet that you've chosen. So look up recipes on the internet for the diet that you're on. Try different styles of cooking. Be adventurous and keep exploring to find things that you enjoy. Don't settle for any unpleasantness because it's not going to work over time. Make your meal times a social event or a time to spend with important people in your life. You can also make it a quiet time for self-reflection. Either way, make the way that you consume your food a pleasurable thing to do. Don't make it just about refueling your body. Make it about refueling your soul. Principle 4. Changing your diet is a change in your lifestyle. When you change your diet, it means changing the foods that you buy and keep in your home. It means changing the way that you think about your food, about the way that you shop. It can also mean changing the way that you feel about food. For many of us, food has been long seen as an enemy. It has been the temptation that makes us fat, the trigger for our flares, or even the allergen that cascades deadly body reactions. So having emotional baggage regarding your food makes complete sense. But if we're going to be successful with our diets, we need to reevaluate these relationships and get help if we need to. Principle 5, having good nutrition isn't just about what you eat. How much you eat and when you eat can matter just as much. Some people do better with frequent snacking on small amounts throughout the day, while others do better with structured meal times. So it can be useful to play around with this and see what works better for you. Principle 6, something is better than nothing. When you are in that place of having a difficult time eating or keeping food down, keep in mind that getting anything inside your body is better than starving it. While it is best to get your nutrition from food, we sometimes need to rely on supplements to help our bodies get what they need. This doesn't mean that we're failing nutritionally. It means that we are doing what it takes to give our bodies what they need. If you're eating a high potassium diet and your potassium levels still come back low, then it's time to consider taking a potassium supplement. If you're too depressed or you've just run out of spoons and you can't make yourself eat, then try drinking an Ensure or other meal replacement drink. All right, so how does someone go about tackling the challenge of figuring out what's the best diet for them? The thing is to keep in mind that it's like anything that has to do with our health. It's not easy. It's a trial and error process to figure things out. It's going to take time. And just to make things more complex, our body's needs change over time. And because that, our dietary needs will change as well. The most important thing is to look for a diet that helps you feel well and helps you reduce your health risks in the future. If you have complex health needs, it can be helpful to see an expert in the field. It's important to know that there is a difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist. Which will serve you better depends on your clinical situation and needs. It can be helpful to look for someone that specializes in the diseases that you have. When you have more than one, that option gets more complicated and may even mean speaking with more than one specialist. It's also important to know which of these services are covered by your insurance. For most insurances, a dietitian is an option if a referral is made from a doctor that is managing the medical problem in question. For example, getting a referral from your neurologist or cardiologist would be appropriate if you wanted help setting up a POTS diet. It's also important to recognize when our emotional or mental health is affecting our diet. There are times that we emotionally eat or that we fail to eat due to depression. We can also have food aversion due to anxiety because of the trauma experience that we've had related to food. All of these things should be addressed with a mental health professional for an ideal dietary outcome. Because just like everything else in our health, our success with our diets is not something that can be achieved in isolation. We can only reach our optimal health goals when we approach them holistically, and that includes our mental health. So, thanks for spending time with me today. I hope you are in a state of peace and wellness. And until we see each other again, you take care of yourselves. Bye.